guys, it's me, Gary Lee Stanley, your sales guy. How are you doing today? Today we're talking about our favorite subject, which is sales. All right, so let's go ahead and dive right on into it. Our topic for today is, are you, as a salesperson or a person, feeling less than? Do you feel overwhelmed? Are you a salesperson who is like, wow, I don't know what I'm doing? Are you feeling frustrated? Do you feel overwhelmed? Do you feel as though, man, I don't know if this is the kind of job that I really can keep doing because it's tough, it's hard. You know, I'm going to tell you what, guys, it is tough, it is hard, and it can be very exciting, it can be very lucrative. But we ask ourselves sometimes, you know, do I feel overwhelmed? Yeah, life can be kind of a crazy thing, man. You know, one week you could be selling and knocking it out of the park, and then next week you're not selling anything, or the next week, and then you're like, wow, what's wrong with me? It may not be anything. It could be a selling cycle, but we feel less than. You know, I share these feelings with you, and I tell you these feelings because this is what salespeople feel. I'm a real salesperson. I've been in sales since the 80s in one form of capacity. So I've seen the good, the bad, the ugly, and the warts and all. And I can just tell you that you will have times those feelings of inadequacy. Like, dang, man, did I make the right decision? Am I selling the right product? But remember, guys and ladies, it's like ebb and flow. Things change all the time. They're up and down. It's like I've worked with so many companies that I've gotten frustrated with, thinking they were going to be around forever and I was going to make my mark with them forever, but it just didn't work out. They went out of business, or things just didn't work out the way you think they'll work. You know, that's just life. But feeling overwhelmed, I sometimes feel overwhelmed. You know, I sell multiple products because I'm trying to always have something in the pipeline to make money. You know, and I sell real estate, you know, I sell insurance, and I sell pool services, motors, equipment. I do a lot of different things. But sometimes, you know, I get frustrated because it's like, you know, everybody's pulling at you in one direction. Seems like sometimes all at the same time. And everybody wants you to sell their products. So if you work with one product, congratulations. You'll probably knock it out of the park, but you gotta remember there's going to be good days, bad days. Some days you'll not even want to get out of bed because it's so frustrating. Do you sometimes feel overwhelmed? Well, welcome to the real world. It's okay, especially people who first start in selling. It's really tough when you first start, unless you get hold of a good manager or some good system that can help walk you through the selling process and giving you some, you know, rah-rah, get you all excited, and the continuation of continuing education. But generally what happens is we get frustrated when we first start. We feel overwhelmed. You know, we've got all this new information. We're stoked, man. We got our new shoes, new shirts, clothes. We've been going to classes. We're learning all this new information. We're so excited. And then it's time to go sell something. Oh, crap. And then it feels a little overwhelming. You can be like, oh, man, I don't know what I'm doing. But it's like you got to get your feet wet. That means you got to go out there and try. You got to go ahead and take the fundamentals and the basics that they give you. And again, it's going to be overwhelming till you get into your selling cycle, or should I say selling mode. Maybe it takes you 10, 15 customers, 30, 100 customers before you start feeling comfortable about who you are. But feeling overwhelmed, yeah, man, because, you know, we got bills. But here's the thing, if you are feeling overwhelmed, you know, get a piece of paper and write down those things that are making you feel overwhelmed. Look at those things and then see if there's anything there that you can change or manipulate to work in a better situation. Because feeling overwhelmed, it drains you. It makes you not feel as though, you know, you're your best. And being a salesperson, it's wonderful. We work on this magic thing called commission. But when you work on commission, that means you work based on your selling performance. So if you don't sell nothing that week, okay, you don't get paid nothing. But see, more the risk, more the pay. Some people, they can't handle that. And it can be overwhelming. That's why I always say try to live within your means. And the reason why I'm even saying that is because I've been there where I didn't live within my means. I spent money I didn't have. I blew money thinking I was going to make all this extra money, and stuff doesn't always work the way you think they should. So you feel overwhelmed. You got a lot of different hats that you have to wear, a lot of different personalities, a lot of management and stuff. And of course, everybody is pulling at you and wants you to, be the best that you can be. And I can share with you this way, guys. It's a tough world out there, man. It's a tough world. And if you're wanting to be a salesperson, I say go for it, man. But do yourself a favor. Get some good training. Get some good knowledge. Because you'll feel overwhelmed at first, especially if you're like, I got into real estate. And when I got into real estate, it was like, holy cow. I had to take a 63-hour course. Then I had to take a 45-hour course. And I was feeling overwhelmed. And then I had to take all of these other classes, and you still got to keep taking classes. So sometimes, living a regular life, family, just balance, it can be overwhelming. So you got to ask yourself as a salesperson, what do I need to do? I would probably say, study the craft of sales. Get you a good mentor, somebody who's not a manipulator, who can teach you the basics and the fundamentals, and somebody will be there for you when you're feeling stressed and overwhelmed. Somebody you can talk to. And you got to get that crap out of you guys, because you can feel overwhelmed very easily, and then you get snake, you get this thing called, salesman's breath, which means you're desperate. And I know this sounds familiar because I keep dwelling on these things, guy, because, when you're feeling less than, or you're feeling inadequate, or if you're feeling miserable about your job, you're not going to be able to do it. Matter of fact, you might even quit. Only because sometimes we get overwhelmed. I've been overwhelmed quite a few times in my life, and I had to survive, so I had to keep trying to sell. You're going to meet a lot of different people and personalities. You're going to meet some people that are really not very nice, but you're going to meet so many people who are. We have to look at ourselves and think, what can I do to be a more successful salesperson? We got to learn how to get rid of some of that stress and stop being so overwhelmed. I go to the gym regularly. I used to weigh like 315, 20 pounds, something like that. I was really fat, and I got real fat real quick. When you get older, you do. And I was feeling overwhelmed, and I said, man, I need to do something. I got to change mine. I'm not feeling good when I'm trying to sell. I'm not happy. And so I started going to the gym. And it took me a little while, and I've lost a lot of weight, but I'm getting my gun shows on. I work out, and I do a lot of stress relief stuff, and I love doing my videos. I love doing my Instagram, my YouTube, my Facebook, my reels, and just sharing what goes on in a real salesperson's life. And this is what I deal with. We deal with all kinds of ups and downs, but I love the selling process. Once you learn it, it's like you get a chance to talk to people. You get paid to talk to people. It's amazing, but people need our services, and it can be overwhelming sometimes because we have to learn how to have what they call a selling conversation. I use that term because I came up with it. And the selling conversation means you listen to your customers. You're not going to listen to everything and have you go down a rabbit hole, but you're going to listen for those buying signals. You're going to be listening to those things that customers will tell you, the things that they want, if you'll just listen. And then you got to make sure that you are prepared for the no's. If they say no's, you want to get at least 3 or 4 or 5 before you give up. But remember, have a conversation. When you first get with them, you talk about them and hey, haw, and roo, and then change gears and then start talking about the products and what's in it for them. But remember, guys, if it starts to feel overwhelming, it means we need to go back to the basics, and we need to go back to the fundamentals. We need to write a gratitude list. We need to write down about all the good things we're grateful about. And we also need to look at things that maybe we need to work on and maybe we need to change. It could be the company you're working with. It could be the product that you're working with. It could be that maybe you need to start taking better care of your health, and you need somebody to say, hey, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. My name is Gary Lee Stanley. I am your sales guy. I really enjoy talking to you guys. It makes me feel good, but we have to deal with stress, guys. It is what we deal with. But there's so much benefit. I'm just saying, it's a great career. It's a great opportunity. And feeling overwhelmed, well, I think almost every job has that moment. But if you feel overwhelmed, take a deep breath, share your feelings with somebody that you trust, and then get back in there and sell. And if you're having a bad day, don't worry. Tomorrow's another day. God is so good that He gives us a reprieve so we can get back. And again, look at the fundamentals. Look at your pros and cons. Look at your product. Look at why or why not you're selling and how you can improve. And if you're feeling overwhelmed, welcome to the real world. This is the real world we live in. But man, it's such a nice opportunity. I get paid to talk to people, give them information, help them see things. And that's what I get to do. And yeah, it can be overwhelming because we work on this thing called commission. But boy, I'll tell you what, I wouldn't work no other way. The reason why I say that is when you work on commission, you can make more money. I'm just saying. And make sure you put it away for a rainy day, okay? And I hope you feel better. And listen, guys, sometimes being overwhelmed, it's not a bad thing. It can be an experience, what they call a growing thing, okay?